Today we read a short story in the Your Turn book, page 143 and 144. Okay, and the title of our story is called Making Music. Okay, as you know, guys, this week we've been reading about stories where people make music in different ways. Like, for example, the first story is about a chorus or a school chorus where a group of kids sing together and perform in many concerts and also important places such as the White House and the Hollywood Award. Our second story is about how deaf people can enjoy music, although they cannot hear. Okay, and we said that when they go to concerts, they feel the excitement, and they also sit in seats close to the interpreter, where the person uses sign language to explain the words of the song, and using their hands, their mouth. And today we'll be reading about musical instruments. Okay, so it says making music. There are different ways to make music. Let's learn about some musical instruments. Okay, we said musical instruments are tools that are used to make different sounds of music. You must find some of these in your school music group. The first one, piano. A piano is a musical instrument that has 88 keys. So a piano is a musical instrument, and it has 88 keys. You know the keys, it's either white or black. To play the piano, you press keys on the keyboard. This action moves wooden hammers. The hammers then hit steel strings. The string vibrates and makes sound. When the strings stop moving, the sound is discontinued. So a piano is a musical instrument and has 88 keys that we press on to make a sound. Why? Because when you press on the keys, the action, when you press on the keys, it moves something behind it called wooden hammers. The hammers then hit a steel string. So when you press on a key, it moves wooden hammers, and then the hammers hit something like strings made out of steel. So when the strings start to vibrate, means to move, it starts to make a sound. When the strings stop moving, the sound is discontinued. Okay, we said that the prefix "this" means the opposite of. Discontinued means not to continue. Okay, so the sound does not continue when the strings stop moving. The second musical instrument is a violin. A violin is in the string family of instruments. It is a hollow wooden box. It has 4 strings running from top to the bottom. So a violin is a musical instrument that has strings. Okay, so what else? It is a hollow wooden box. So a violin is like an empty wooden box that has 4 long strings, okay, attached to it from the top to the bottom. To play the violin, you pull the bow across the strings, or you can pluck the strings with a finger. When the strings vibrate, they make a sound. Okay, so again, a violin is a musical instrument. It's like an empty wooden box and has 4 strings from the top to the bottom of this box. So to play the violin, you pull the bow across the strings. Okay, you pull the bow on the strings, or you pluck it. You move the strings with your finger. And when the string starts to vibrate, they start to make a sound. Let me show you a picture. So this is a violin, okay? This is like a hollow, an empty wooden box. And here you see there are 4 strings from the top to the bottom of it, okay? And the strings, when you pluck it with your finger or you move it with a bow, it starts to make different sounds. Here is a piano, okay? This is a piano, and see the white and black. As we said, that the piano has how many? The piano here has 88 black and white keys. So when you press on the keys, they start to make a hammering sound, and which pulls on steel strings and to make a sound. All right, so a violin is one of the musical instrument and piano is another one. Let's read the second page. Okay, the second page is, here is a bar graph. Bar graph that shows you different piano, flute, violin, and trumpet, different musical instruments. So the next instrument here is a flute. A flute is a wood wind instrument. It is a narrow tube with finger holes. So a flute is like a long, tight tube with finger holes. It has holes in it. Okay, to make a sound on the flute, you blow across an oval hole near the end. Sound bounces off the edge of the hole and through the tube. To change the notes, cover and uncover the finger holes. Okay, so as we said, a flute is a narrow tube and it has holes in it. And to make a sound, you blow in the hole and near the end, and you move your fingers to change the sound. Okay, it says you cover and uncover the finger holes. Let me show you a picture of a flute. There's not a picture of a flute here, but a flute is like a long tube like this, as you see, and you blow and it has holes in it, and when you blow in it, you cover and uncover the holes, and the sound or the music that it makes, it will change. The last one is a trumpet. A trumpet is a brass instrument. It is a long metal tube with a loop. One end is shaped like a bell. It has an uneven number of valves, 3. To play the trumpet, you buzz your lips into the mouthpiece. Move the valves to change the note. Okay? There is a world. Now that, let me see the words that I cannot see. Okay, now let's review the instruments we read about. Which would you like to play? No one can disagree. There is a whole world of music to be made. Okay, as we said, that the trumpet is a brass instrument. This is, where's the trumpet? Here, this is a trumpet, this gold or yellowish thing, okay? And it's made out of brass, and it has a loop. Loop means it's turned around, okay? And it has valves. It has 3 valves with different 1, 2, 3 here, okay? And you blow your lips into it and you change the valves to change the sound or the notes of the music that you want to make. All right, so after you read, it says which instrument would you like to learn how to play? And if you look at the bar graph, it says instruments in school music groups. You find that number of instruments in the group, you'll find 1 to 2 people playing one group playing the piano, about 3 groups playing the flute, 3 people playing the group, violin almost 6.5, and the trumpet almost 2.5. Okay, so if I ask you, what is a key detail that is included in the passage? What is this? First of all, what is this the story about? To make sure you understand the story, you should go back and reread it. Reread each part again. So, if you think about it, we just read about different musical instruments, right? We read about piano, violin, flute, and trumpet. So if I ask you to write one detail about this, we can write about the first instruments. What is a detail we can find about the piano? We can say that a piano is a musical instrument that has 88 keys, right? Or you can say a violin is like a hollow wooden box that has 4 strings running. This is a key detail about piano, and this is a key detail about violin. Okay, so question number 1 says, write a key detail that is included in the passage. So you can either write one detail about the piano or one detail about the violin. On the second page, write another key detail that is included in the passage. On the second page, we have the flute and the trumpet. Okay, so you can write one detail. You can describe the flute and say it's a narrow tube with finger holes. Okay, or you can say that it's a narrow tube with finger holes, and we blow into the flute to make a sound. What about the main idea? The main idea of the story is about different instruments that make music. Okay, we read about 4 different instruments that make music. So when it comes to the key detail, you have to write a detail that supports the main idea. And we just read about 4 different instruments. So you can write one detail about each instrument. So here is possible answers. Okay, if you write another detail about a violin, it's okay. If you write about a flute, it's okay, as long as you write about one of the 4. The main idea is there are different instruments that make music. And this is what our paragraph was talking about. Okay, that's it, guys.